Ouch! Quinn exaggeratedly screamed. I just sighed and ignored his antics. Nakaupo kaming dalawa sa paanan ng kama ng hotel room namin. Pagkatapos damputin ng hotel crew si Al, Quinn brought me here. I decided to mend his wounds and bruises since he doesn't want to go to the hospital. Ang tigas ng ulo. Ilang beses ko siyang pinilit na pumunta ng ospital para magamot ang sugat niya. Pero mapilit pa rin siya. Ilang beses din niyang sinabi na ayos lang siya kahit na may pasa siya sa mukha. Mabuti na lang talaga at hindi siya masyadong napuruhan. We're just sitting across each other. Quinn was the only one talking since we came here earlier. I kept my mom even I wanted to yell at him for making me so worried. Kaya hindi rin ako nagsasalita kasi wala pa akong lakas para sabihin sa kanyang totoo. Natatakot ako. I can't even look at him straight in the eyes right now. Pakiramdam ko ay malalaman niya kaagad kung ano ang tumatakbo sa isip ko. Matapos lagyan ng betadine ang gilid ng labi niya, kumuha ako ng panibagong bulak at nilagyan ng betadine. Umayos ako sa pagkakaupo at humarap kay Quinn. He grimaced the moment his eyes laid upon the cotton ball I'm holding. I can do this, he said. He tried to snatch the cotton ball away from me, but I was fast to pull it away from him. I didn't say anything. I just gently tapped the cotton on his wounds. It's already swollen. I've already cleaned the dried bloods earlier. He was just silent the whole time, and I was too. Care to tell me what happened? He suddenly asked that made me jump a little. Instead of answering him, I focused myself on searching the band-aid from the first aid kit. Nang makita ko ang band-aid, kinuha ko iyon at pinunit ang sisidlan. Narinig ko na lang na bumuntong hininga si Quinn, pero hindi pa rin siya nagsasalita. Pareho lang kaming nakikipagramdamang dalawa. I gently tapped the band-aid on his right cheekbone and still has no plan of answering him. Huminga ako ng malalim at inayos ang mga gamit. I didn't talk to him. I made myself busy just to avoid his question. Maybe I deserve to know, he added. I remained silent until I felt him beside me. He lifted my chin using his fingers and dig my soul using only my eyes. Were you scared? What else did he do? Tell me. He gently asked. That made my heart twist in pain. I tried to open my mouth, but I failed to utter any words. He sighed and held both of my cheeks using his large hands. He traced my eyes, where traces of dried tears can be found. He left small kisses on my eyes before he pulled away inches from me and stared directly into my eyes. I got nervous the moment I opened my mouth to speak. I tear away my stare from him. Buong ingat naman niyang hinawakan ng baba ko at inangat para magtagpo ulit ang tingin naming dalawa. What is it? Tell me. Malumanay niyang saad at hinaplos ang buhok ko. His voice is assuring me, soothing every fiber of my being. Ito na naman ang sobrang bilis na pagkabog ng dibdib ko sa sobrang kaba at takot sa maaaring sabihin niya. Lalong-lalo ang magiging desisyon niya pagkatapos. Nahihirapan kong banggit sa pangalan ng lalaki. His words earlier haunt my mind until now. What about him? Nagpipigil siya ng galit niya habang tinatanong ako. Napalunok naman ako at napakurap-kurap bago sinagot ang katanungan niya. Siya yung unang naging client ko bilang escort. Tuloy-tuloy kong saad at nagpasalamat akong hindi ako nautala sa kabila ng kaba at sabikig na nasa lalamunan ko. I heard him gasp and frustratedly threaded his fingers between his messy hair. My whole system is in haywire and I don't know what to do. Hindi ko siya kayang lapitan. Natatakot ako. I'm sorry if ngayon ko lang sinabi to sa'yo. Nahihirapang saad ko. Unti-unti na ring tumutulo ang mga luha ko sa pisngi ko nang makita kung gaano siya naapektuhan. My heart started to beat repeatedly and I can't help but to cry silently in front of him. How could this man make me so special and important? How could he embrace my dark past just like that? How could he put my heart at ease when all he ever did was to stare at me, hug me like I'm all that matters to him? What did I do in my past life to meet him now? Do I really deserve him? If only I met you before you met him, love. Saad niya habang tinititigan ang mga mata ko. gamit ang mga malalamlam niyang mga mata na puno ng pagsisisi. I was so careless to leave you alone. I should have stayed on your side. None of it could have happened if I stayed, he added. His voice was full of regrets and guilt. I can't take that. I can't hear any of those. Shh, it's not your fault. None of it was your fault, okay? I whispered to him while searching for his hand to hold it. It was mine. From the start, it was mine. For the second time, I failed to protect you. He bowed down his head as he said those words to me. I was lost and puzzled, but I didn't mind any of those. Instead, I made him lift his head to look at me. I kissed his forehead. You never did. Your embrace is enough to protect me from any harm and pain, I said. Those words, every word I say, I mean it. I meant every of it like my life depended on it. He stared at my eyes for a long time before he dropped his dark eyes on my lips. I followed the movement of his eyes that made me stare at his firm ones too. I gulped as desire starting to take over my whole system. Staring into his eyes right now also means throwing myself into the fire, and funny how I'm willing to be burned. I tried to open my mouth, but I closed it again. I just cleared my throat to lessen the heavy atmosphere around us. What I did caught his attention. As much as I want to kiss you right now, I can't, he raspily whispered, without breaking our eye contact. His minty breath found in my lips. He was watching me silently. His Adam's apple bobbed up and down while still looking at me. Why not? I don't know where did I get the confidence to ask him that, but I just did. Why not? He asked, frowning his forehead. His lips tagged upward while arching his left brow. He caressed my hair and tucked it behind my ear. Bakit ayaw mo? Tanong ko. Nakatingin lang din ako sa kanya habang nakatingin lang din siya sa buhok ko habang hinahaplos iyon. My lips hurt, young lady, he answered the moment he pulled away 2 inches from me. Enough to look closely at his eyes. Mula sa mga mata niya, dumako ang paningin ko sa mapupula niyang labi. Without thinking, I leaned forward and gave him a peck on his lips. Just when I was about to pull away from him, he kissed me, deeper than I thought, and rougher than expected. I closed my eyes and answered his kisses, trying to give him the same intensity of his kisses to me. I felt him slowly laying me on the bed. My back felt the softness of the mattress. I just let him do whatever he wants without any complaints. And satisfied of what he's doing with me, he kissed my lips like his life depends on it. Now, let's get rid of this, he muttered. I opened my eyes and found him staring into my shirt like it has done something wrong to him. Such a beauty, he whispered, enough for me to hear it. My cheeks blushed because of such compliment coming from him. Before I could even utter a thank you, he crushed his lips into mine. Please, I whispered to him, begging him to do something. I've never been this desperate all of my life. Never been this desperate to be touched by a man. It's only him. He leaned forward and kissed on my forehead. He rested his forehead to mine, gasping for air. Are you sure? I could stop if you want, he uttered between gasping. We started to dance in the rhythm only the two of us knew. The 4 corners of the room was the witness of how we marked each other. It was still dark outside when I woke up. Heavy arms embracing me from the back confirmed that it was not a dream. It happened. We really did that. I carefully lifted my arms away from my waist and silently stood up. That's when I noticed that I was already dressed with his shirt. Lumingon ako sa gilid at nakita si Quinn na mahimbing pang natutulog. He's topless. Even if I already saw him without wearing any clothes in his upper body, his build still amazes me. I stared into his face for a couple of minutes before I decided to get a robe in the bathroom and leave. I wanted to watch the sunrise and also to be alone. I wanted to think. Walang tao sa lobby pagkababa ko. Marahil ay sobrang aga pa para lumabas. At alam kong sobrang lamig ng hangin ngayon sa labas, lalo pa at malapit lang ang lugar sa dagat. Pero maganda yun para sa akin. Mas makakapag-isip ako kung ganon. Tahimik akong naglalakad-lakad sa gilid ng dalampasigan habang sinisipa ang buhangin na dinaraanan ko. Niyayakap ko ang sarili ko dahil sa malamig na simoy ng hangin na tinatangay din ng mahaba kong buhok. Malapit nang pumutok ang araw pero ayaw ko pang bumalik sa kwarto. Tumigil ako sa gilid kung saan may sun lounger na nakalagay. Umupo ako roon at humarap sa dagat. Nagsisimula ng lumiwanag ang buong paligid. Nag-uumpisa na ring mawala ang mga fogs. The pain at the center of my legs remind me of what happened last night. I gave my whole self to him without hesitation and regret. The most precious thing a woman could give to a man. I don't know what's between the two of us. What's the real score, feelings and all. Even if that part was vague to me, the efforts Queen showed was already enough for me to trust him. You even gave him your gift, my inner self said. I shook my head with that thought. I didn't even know how easily I gave in. The only thing that I've realized after what happened is that I just don't like him. I was not only attracted to him, I'm in love. And it's getting deeper each day. We'll never really know when and whom we'll fall in love. It will just happen, and the next thing we knew, it's already deeper than we thought. Deeper than we can't even swim to the surface to save ourselves, or we just don't want to. Nang makita ko na ang sinag ng araw at maramdaman ang init na dala nun, tumayo na ako at umalis. Hindi ko alam na ang tagal ko na parang nakaupo doon at nakatitig lang sa dagat. Minsan kasi nakatutok lang ang mata ko, pero ang totoo nasa ibang planeta ang isip ko. O hindi kaya ay wala talaga akong iniisip. Pagkapasok ko ulit sa lobby, nagtaka ako nang makitang ang dami ng tao na hindi ko naman nakita kanina pagkababa ko. Lahat sila ay parang nagmamadali at may hinahabol. Kahit nagtataka, pinabayaan ko na lang sila at pumanhik na pabalik sa kwarto. Hindi ko naabutan si Queen sa kwarto. Tanging ang magulong kama na lang ang natira. Hinanap ko siya sa banyo pero wala siya roon. Nang puntahan ko ang veranda, wala rin siya doon. Umupo ako sa gilid ng kama at sumandal sa headboard habang hinihintay si Queen na bumalik mula sa kung saan. Maya-maya pa ay napapitlag ako sa biglaang pagkalabog ng pinto at ang dumadagundong na boses ni Queen sa loob ng buong kwarto na nagpakaba sa akin. Find her! I don't care where! Just find her! Sigaw niya sa kausap. Hawak niya ang cellphone niya habang nasa bewang niya ang isa niyang kamay. Nakasuot siya ng puting damit na mukhang hindi niya naisuot ng maayos at beige na cargo shorts. Baka sa mukha niya ang sobrang galit dahil sa pamumula ng mukha niya at pag-igting ng panga niya. Maya-maya ay may kung ano na siyang tinipa sa cellphone niya. Did you find her? Sigaw na naman niya sa kausap na nagpapitlag ulit sa akin. Her? Sino bang hinahanap niya? Nagtagpo ang mga mata namin nang lumingon siya sa direksyon ko. Pareho kaming natigilan. Nang mahimasmasan ay agad niyang ibinaba ang cellphone niya at mabilis na naglakad papunta sa akin. Goodness, Julia! Where have you been? Tanong niya. Nahihimigan ko ang pagkabahala sa boses niya. Bago pa man ako makasagot, niyakap na niya agad ako. Sigh of relief was heard from him. Don't scare me like that ever again, I thought. He whispered as he enveloped me with his warm embrace. I lost you. I returned the hug. You'll never be, I whispered. When everything's doing good around you and you're feeling bliss, in a cloud nine or in the seventh heaven, you'll never really notice the time how fast it changes. I've never been this happy all my life. Ngayon ko lang nalaman na ganito pala ang pakiramdam kapag masaya ka sa taong gusto mo. That you'll never have to beg someone's attention just to be happy. Because if that someone truly wants you to be happy and wants you to be part of their life, you don't have to fall into your knees and beg. Akala ko talaga iiwasan na ako ni Queen. Tatakbuhan pagkatapos ng nangyari, like other guys do. But turns out he became more clingy and sweet. He's adorable when every time he'll pout his lips, when he'll not get a single kiss from me. He hugs me from time to time and kiss my cheeks non-stop too. I find it cute and adorable at the same time. Hindi ko alam kung bakit sobrang blessed ko na makita ang ganitong side niya. Of all the people, ako yung hinayaan niyang makita ang vulnerable and sweet side of him. It's been a week since it happened, but everything felt the same. Only that he's showing his true emotions more. I'm loving this side of him more. May it his darkest side or his brightest side. Since that day, Quay never failed to text me, updating me his whereabouts. Texting me even if he's in the middle of a meeting, saying it's boring. He'll suddenly send me foods in the office. He also sent me to work and fetch me too. I sighed as I remembered him. I already missed him. He's abroad. He has to attend an important business trip there, and will be back the next day after tomorrow. I still haven't received any messages from him since this morning. I do want to bombard him with messages too. Kahit naman ganito yung setup namin, wala pa rin kami ng label na sinasabi nila. If Missy would know about this, she'll surely scold me non-stop. Hindi ko din kasi alam sa babaeng yun. Minsan gusto, minsan naman hindi. Napahilot ako sa sentido ko nang dumako ang mata ko sa cellphone ko, na ngayon ay nakalapag lang sa ibabaw ng lamesa ko. Natutukso akong kunin yon at mag-text kay Queen, pero pinigilan ko ang sarili ko. Yumuko na lang ako sa mesa gamit ang mga braso bilang unan. Ipinatong ko roon ang ulo ko at bahagyang pumikit. Inaantok ako dahil sa kukulangan ng tulog kagabi. Tumatawag si Queen kagabi at late na kaming natulog. He just checked on me and asked how I was doing. Pagkatapos kong masagot ang tanong niya, tinanong ko rin siya ng parehong tanong. I'm glad na okay lang siya roon and he'll be back the day after tomorrow. Nang kamuntika na akong makatulog mula sa pagkakayo ko ay itinaas ko ang ulo ko at tumayo. Pumunta ako sa isa sa pantry para kumuha ng isang tasang kape para magpawala ng antok. Pagkatapos kong kumuha ng isang tasang kape, bumalik ako sa mesa ko at nagtrabaho habang umiinom ng kape. Pagsapit ng hapon, tapos ko na ang kailangan kong gawin, kaya naman hindi maalis ang ngiti sa mukha ko. Napansin iyon ni Renz, na ngayon ay kasabay kong naglalakad palabas ng building. Ganda ng ngiti natin ah, saad niya. Mas lumawak pa ang ngiti ko dahil sa sinabi niya hanggang sa natawa na ako. Natapos ko na rin ang mga pending kong trabaho. Sagot ko sa kanya. Tumango naman siya at ngumiti rin sa akin. Mabuti ka pa, ang akin patong-patong pa. Huminga siya ng malalim. Base sa itsura niya, mukhang marami pa talaga siyang hahabuling gawain. I just tapped his shoulder to at least comfort him. Pagkalabas namin ng building, namilog ang mga mata ko nang makita ko si Missy sa labas at mukhang ako ang hinihintay. Mula sa pagkakaupo niya sa isa sa mga bench, tumayo siya at naglakad papunta sa akin. Hey, Miss Julia! Masiglang bati niya sa akin. Something is off with her. I just can't pinpoint what, but I can feel it. Gumanti ako ng mahigpit na yakap, nang bigla na lang niya akong niyakap ng sobrang higpit. Halos mawala na ako ng hininga. Anong nangyari? Mahinang tanong ko pero umiling lang siya sa akin. Tara, inom? Biglang saad niya sa akin. Naglalakad na kami paalis habang nakaangkla sa braso ko ang kamay niya. Kumunot ang noo ko at nilingon siya, na ngayon ay sobrang laki ng ngiti, pero hindi naman umaabot sa mga mata niya. Okay ka lang? Nag-aalala kong tanong sa kanya. Tumigil kaming dalawa sa paglalakad. Minsan na lang kaming magkita at mag-usap, kaya wala na akong masyadong alam tungkol sa kanya. Hindi rin naman siya palakwento tungkol sa sarili niya o pamilya niya. Oo naman, nagyayalang uminom, may problema agad? Natatawang tanong niya. You know that you can always tell me, right? Makikinig ako. Mahinang saad ko sa kanya. Oo naman. Saad niya at nagpatuloy kami sa paglalakad. Kahit ayokong pumunta sa mga ganitong lugar, sinamahan ko pa rin si Missy sa loob ng club. Umupo kami sa couch sa pinakagilid na hindi masyadong dinaraanan ng mga tao. Pagkarating namin, umorder agad si Missy ng kung ano-anong mga alak na hindi ko alam. I just stared in our couch and watched her get drunk. I stopped her when she almost emptied the bottle of the alcohol. Gulat nga ako na hindi pa rin siya nagpa-passed out sa dami ng mga ininom niya. Alam mo, she hiccuped. This existence, my life, huminga siya ng malalim. Is a mess, a big mess, she shouted, but her voice was only swallowed by the loud music around us. Tama na yan, lasing ka na. Inagaw ko mula sa kanya ang baso ng alak nang balak na naman niyang uminom. Where's the fun in that? She hiccuped again. Tara na, umuwi na tayo. Sad ko at tumayo. Lumapit ako sa kinauupuan niya at hinawakan ko ang braso niya para alalayan siyang tumayo. Oh! Malutong na mura niya nang makatayo na siya. Nagpatinaod ako sa kanya nang bigla na lang niya akong hinila papunta sa labas. After 3 rings, she answered my call. Nakauwi ka na? Hoy, magbihis ka ha? Matulog ka na rin. Dadalhan kita ng gamot sa hangover bukas. Sunod-sunod na saad ko sa kanya. Hindi pa man siya nakakasagot. Kumunot ang noo ko nang hindi siya nagsasalita sa kabilang linya. Tiningnan ko ang cellphone ko kung pinatay ba niya ang tawag, pero hindi naman. Hoy, sumagot! I can take care of her. Don't worry. Putol niya sa kabilang linya. Pero napakunot ang noo ko ng boses ng isang lalaki ang sumagot. Agad na nanlaki ang mata ko at hindi makapagsalita.